Hi guys, Mark Crossfield here with Revolution Golf. Welcome to all the Revolution golfers who are watching. We've got the Srixon Z585 irons. So where Srixon, I think, used to make 3 sets in the Z range of irons, we're now down to 2. This is the Z585. I've never liked the names, but I've always liked the performance. Let's give them a test. Let's get stuck in. So the Z585 Srixon, it's the more friendly of their iron range, kind of the bigger cavities. It's got more of the technology that's going to try and help you if you're hitting all across the face. So lots of people would argue maybe for the high handicapper, but that's not always the case. It's more to do with the style of golfer, striker of the ball you are. And yes, that can follow your handicap type, but it can quite easily not as well. So I'm 177 yards, and I'll bring the lofts up at these clubs here. They're stronger in their lofts, so I'm going to hit the 6. I mean, 177, wind off the left, ball below my feet here. Be a big 6 for me with my clubs. Let's see how this one does in the Z585. And I mean, down by the ball, I'll be honest with you, for your game improvement and the tech that we'll get into in a second on this club, not massive amount of offset, medium top line, lovely chrome to kind of semi-chrome face to off-chrome face, I should say. It's kind of like the satin finish. It's really good looking forged iron. We'll show you where that one finished in a second, and it felt really good, to be honest with you. And I've reviewed Srixon irons a few times before, and they've always been surprisingly good. Again, one of those companies that just doesn't get the pro shop airtime that other companies get, which is maybe why you don't try it as much. About as good as anything else. We'll show you the result in a second. Let's look at the tech specs and what Srixon have to say about these clubs. So the 585s feature the Srixon Tour VT sole. They're big in their soles, obviously, with their wedges. Better turf interactions, what they're going to say with that. We've got a speed groove around the outside of the face. This is going to make that face faster across different parts of it, helping you with those offset hits in theory. We've got a forged construction, so 1020 carbon steel, less vibration, better feel. That's the ideas with that kind of construction. And we've got the laser milling face. Srixon Stroke Cleveland, same company, always like to talk about their face. They're always milling their wedges, they're bringing it over onto the irons. That might just help you when spin's dropping off, rough, semi-rough, dew in the morning, those kind of things, with a little bit more lasering, milling on that face. So that's where it finished. I mean, that's gone, landed kind of just past pin eye, and then on to the back. That's a good 6 iron for me, and these are strong, as you saw in the lofts earlier. Plenty of tech in there as well to help you again with those off-centre hits. I'm sure I'm going to hit plenty more off-centre hits today, so we'll test that more. Learn my clubbing a little bit, but I mean, that formed pretty good. This is a 174 par 3, now heading a little bit more into, so I'm going to hit the same 6 iron. So companies have talked about soles for years. The V-Sole, I used to have it on old Cleveland wedges. I liked it on the wedges, it made sense. With the 6 irons again, there's so much speed, and I feel, even though I do touch the ground first, and you do as well if you need a good strike, I feel like I'm hitting ball first. So what the sole does or doesn't do, less of a feeling for me. Speed groove is very similar to cup base and Callaway, isn't it? You know, if it works, great. Just call it a different thing, but I guess not everyone has to lead the way, do they? If it's a good idea, you can use it. It makes a bit more of a ting, say, my bladed iron. But it's a nice solid sound, and definitely the lack of offset and the thinner top lines as your game improvement models go. I mean, or in-betweener, whatever you want to call this, kind of bridge between game improvement and better players. I could easily put that down by the ball and be very happy with what I'm looking at. It's very good looking, and it feels decent. Not the softest in the world, like I say, because you do feel a bit of, or you hear the sound of a face that is kind of thinner and got cavity behind it. But it feels good. Again, no problem, look, getting that to the back of this screen and that yardage. Let's take a look at some of the numbers that I created with these inside dry data you know, the kind of tests you do at home more when you go for your fittings. So if we take a look at the 585 from Srixon, you can see I'm getting that 6 iron out there at 170 average carry, 174 topping out, so that's almost a 186 iron, which is definitely longer than my 6 iron, but that's to do with those lofts I showed you earlier. Then the 6 iron is spinning nearer, it's not bad spin, 5,300 is not bad. My 6 iron would spin near 6,500 to 6,000, so it's not crazy low. Launching at 17 degrees, and then it's peak hiking at 31. I reckon my 6 iron peak heights maybe nearer 34 on top ends, but they're decent. But you got to remember, this 6 iron is almost like my 5 iron anyway, so it's doing exactly what you would expect it to do. All intents and purposes, they're the kind of numbers I would expect from that lofted kind of a golf club. The numbers are where I would expect for that kind of lofted club. They're there with the spin. It's a low spinning, slightly low lofted, slightly lower peak height club for me as well, so that would worry me personally. But if you're popping the ball up in the air, not a problem. If you want help popping it up in the air, there is help there, but it's always that balance, isn't it? You want distance, coach wants loft, companies want to sell clubs. You don't listen to coaches that much. But they're decent numbers. Nice little punchy 6 iron, wind off the right, trying to just draw it in with the wind. I absolutely do feel I can do anything with these clubs, and I feel that with most clubs, but I'm not fighting any massive offset, so I'm not having to work that in. They're not launching overly high, so I'm not trying to struggle when I keep it lower. And they kind of launch high enough as well when I want the ball to stop. I've got a 4 iron, let's hit a few 4 irons, but quite impressed with these. And the 4 iron does look nice. We get a tiny bit more visible offset in here. You don't really see the back of the club over the head. I'm kind of glad they got rid of, I think, the top line, if I am right, because this does enough. It's enough help for most people while it's still going to provide that kind of classic look that lots want. Now, I'm not a 4 iron player. I would use a hybrid, but plenty of club. Again, not ridiculously offset. I feel like I can game this. Makes a hell of a noise. Like, it's quite a nice noise combination between a bit of ting and not too kind of fiery feeling off the face. And Srixon wouldn't be Srixon Cleveland without talking about milling on faces and what have you. You work into that what you will. Certainly with flies it might help somewhat, but that, I mean, that 4 iron felt easy, felt nice, felt very gameable. I'd absolutely have no problem putting these in the bag. I would have to change my distances, but lots of people want that extra distance, don't they? Post comments down below, let me know what you think. Is it a club you could hit or not? I like the simplicity of almost like the 3 tech points without getting too golf guffy. Some companies just want to trick you all with kind of crazy words, but yeah, I like the simplicity, the effectiveness of these. You can't say true numbers because they are slightly stronger and lower spinning, but they're exactly what I would kind of expect from this designer club. Post comments down below. Again, Srixon. I hate the name, I can't remember what it is, and I'll finish the video. It's 58 something, isn't it? I can't remember. It's like a phone number. I want the name to change, more for my memory. But post comments, would you game these or not, or would you even try them? Let me know.